Alrighty, so it looks like we're live. Mitch is back again behind the controls. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe we're live on Facebook. Is that right?
Nope, in YouTube.
On YouTube.
We are live on YouTube.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna join in myself, and then hopefully while I do this, more people start to join in as well. I know that this is very last minute, but I'm sure people will join. Yeah, it's just what we do. Watching some UFC. All right. And here I am. It looks like 4 are watching now. So
it's a very clean stream.
Yeah, it looks like it for sure. A clean stream. Okay. And then I'll see if there's any people commenting. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comment down below. What's up, Puck Daddy 93? And we got Canucks fans. So interesting enough that we have 2 hockey fans, because that's exactly what I want to take the time to discuss today. NHL playoffs. I'm kind of itching for the season to start. I know exhibition games start on the 28th, and then bam, just like that, Saturday, the 1st of August. What better way to start August than playoff hockey? Something that's almost, I don't think it's ever been done, playing hockey in the summer. But so yeah, guys, I kind of just wanted to go through, NHL playoffs here and kind of go through my thought process here. So give me one quick second. And let's see. All right. So the first game, we got my New York Rangers against the Carolina Hurricanes. And this is going to be a tough series for me because I'm a fan of the bunch of jerks, shout out to Don Cherry. Not a fan of Don Cherry personally myself, but it is what it is. And he dubbed them a bunch of jerks. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of Sebastian Aho, big fan of Andrei Svechnikov. And I really like what Rob Brindamore is doing with that team. But I honestly feel like my New York Rangers, had the season even ended, they honestly could have, they were going to come close to a playoff spot. I'm not going to say that they were going to make it guaranteed, but honestly, I feel like they kind of lucked out with this first round. I really, really do. The season series, 4-0 Rangers. What more can I say? 4-0. And I believe the all-time New York Rangers matchup, I had it here at one point. So the New York Rangers all-time are 41 wins and 17 losses against the Carolina Hurricanes, which is crazy. Honestly, the New York Rangers have absolutely dominated that series. I'm not going to say that they're going to dominate this playoff series. Obviously, anything can happen, specifically with the fact that, players haven't been playing competitive hockey in 3-4 months now. But you look at it, and Igor Shesterkin is probably one of the hottest goalies right now. And it's going to be interesting to see if he even plays more than Henrik Lundqvist. Because if you look at his career numbers versus Carolina, they're out of this world. I feel like Igor should get the starts, primarily as he should, with the backup being Lundqvist and Georgiev being the third, which is really weird because Georgiev has been incredible this season and even last season. I know that Toronto Maple Leafs fans quickly learned who Georgiev is, but so yeah, that's honestly going to be my first choice there. I feel like the New York Rangers are just going to knock them off. I mean, you got a top 3 player in the league right now, in Artemi Panarin. Mika Zibanejad was the hottest player before the break. Igor Shesterkin, what more can you say? 9-1 in his first 10 games. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Rangers there. And then we got Chicago Blackhawks against the Edmonton Oilers. That one, honestly, the Oilers should cruise to that one, specifically in a 5-game series. But you never know, right? It seems like year in, year out, Edmonton just doesn't quite have the goaltending. Maybe they do. I mean, I don't know. Chicago's been pretty bad, but maybe this is legitimately what a lot of Chicago fans were hoping for, being the coronavirus break, because I don't know about you guys, but I honestly thought that Chicago would have been a much better team this year. I feel like they have a lot of talent. Young Kirby Dack, Alex DeBrincat, Jonathan Tays, even when he's healthy, he's a stud. And, they had the right pieces there, even with Robin Leonard. Obviously, they don't got him anymore, but I feel like Chicago could win one or two, potentially force a game 5. But at the end of the day, Draisaitl, McDavid, too much. Giving my edge to the Oilers. Yeah. All right. Leafs all day. It's our time, boys. I'm not quite sure about that one, but, I'm definitely going to try to get to these two. I think Henrik is done. He had a great career. Anthony, that really hurts me, that comment there, that you think Henrik is done. Ultimately, I do think he is too. And I do want to give a shout out to a local kid who actually just signed with the New York Rangers, Trevor Wall. Check out his stats with UMass Lowell. He just absolutely incredible goaltender. Great kid, played for the Leamington Flyers, and then obviously UMass. So at the end of the day, I feel like Hank's going to eventually have to retire. Next season's probably going to be his last, his farewell. And then they'll have to trade Georgiev, meaning that number 1 is going to be Shesterkin, and then number 2 will eventually be Tyler Wall, because he's that good, and honestly, he's got a goalie name. All right, so moving on to the next matchup, we got the Florida Panthers and the team that I really, really, really hate, the New York Islanders. I want to say that the Islanders should win this one in 5, but you never know. Florida Panthers are a tricky team. Sasha Barkov can do almost anything he wants with the puck. They got a lot of young up-and-coming players. Obviously, Bobby Lou's got a lot of playoff experience as well, and he could potentially lead them. But, I feel like Anders Lee and Matt Barzal and the rest of the team there, New York is pretty strong, the Islanders. So I feel like that series will go to 5, but I will give the edge to the Islanders. All right, moving on next. Also in that day, so these are all Saturday games, we got the Montreal Canadiens, who I believe will land Alexis Lafreniere, and they got to face the Pittsburgh Penguins. Crosby was out a majority of the season, but I feel like Crosby, Malkin, Russ, Letang, like Pittsburgh Penguins are just so skilled. They're so, let's call it, they got a lot of veterans on that team. And other than Carey Price is literally the Habs' only chance. So unless Carey Price can save the puck and go up and start dangling people and shooting, honestly, I just don't see how Montreal stands a chance here. And I know that a lot of homers are really going to hate me for saying that, but Pittsburgh's too strong. Yari's too strong in the back end, and Sidney Crosby, he's hungry for hockey. So that's my next pick there. Any more comments?
Did you answer Mike Smith?
Mike Smith, where is that comment? Mike Smith. No, I don't see that comment. Although I do see that if I do a successful stream that I should get ice cream, and I definitely want ice cream. The Carolina Hurricanes are beating the Rangers. Sorry, that was wolf music. I don't know about that. Well, we'll see. I mean, obviously they have a legitimate chance to do it on paper. They should definitely do it, but I feel like the way that the Rangers have been playing, specifically Shesterkin, Panarin, Mika, even Ryan Strome, add him in there. Anything can happen in this best of 5 series, but I just like the trash talking New York fans. That's funny. Definitely give you that one. All right, moving on. This is my most highly anticipated matchup. I have no idea who's going to win this one, but I am going to give the slight edge to the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets will also be facing the Flames. I feel like both of these teams have the potential to make a long run, but ultimately in a 5-game series, more times than not, talent could very well win that series. And as we've mentioned numerous times on this channel, Kyle Connor is an absolute stud. Blake Wheeler, Mark Scheifele, Patrick Laine even. Patrick Laine is definitely due for a strong playoff series. Connor Hellebuyck, he's literally seen the most shots this season in the NHL. So if they can finally tighten up that defense, slow down Lindholm and slow down Johnny Gaudreau, the Jets could legitimately make a very deep playoff push. And I'm not going to count them out. So I'm going to go with the Jets in, let's say, 5. Anthony, unfortunately for you, buddy, I do agree. But, if you guys do lose, at least you have a 1 in 8 chance for Lexi Lafreniere, which would definitely be, man, that's going to be a great addition. Adam with Nick Suzuki, Adam with Kakanyemi. You're going to be fine. Keep your head up. Moving on to the next day. So this would be Sunday's matchups. We got Arizona Coyotes against Nashville Predators. Coyotes, I don't know. They got Phil Kessel, right? Taylor Hall. I'm not going to say that they're bad. Like, they're not a bad team, per se. But Nashville's got the playoff experience. Got to go with Nashville in this situation. I just feel comfortable doing that. Nashville's strong. Pekka Rinne is strong. I don't feel like Nashville is going to even make like the conference finals. I don't feel like they're that strong. But again, anything can happen in this best of 5 series. Even Nashville could very well lose that. But if I had to pick, I'd say series goes to 5, or pardon me, series goes to 4, 3-1 Preds. And then obviously you have your teams who got to bye. So you got the Bruins and the Phillies. That's obviously going to be a barn burner. And interesting enough, I also did want to mention the Rangers 1 exhibition game is against the other New York team. So the Islanders and the Rangers. I'm going to be extremely cautious about that game. It's the Battle of New York. So I don't know. I like the idea of playing, but more so interleague squad, inter squad matchups, because it doesn't make sense to me to have 2 teams who hate each other for just an exhibition, like a scrimmage game, to kind of get the players' legs moving again, and someone's going to get hurt. I'm telling you, it's just competition brings the best and the worst out of people, and I feel like maybe it's not necessarily in that exhibition game, but someone's going to get hurt. Whether it be through COVID-19 or Corona or whatever it is, someone's going to get hurt, and I'm not a fan of that. And I'm also not a fan of this exhibition thing. So you're trying to tell me that the Boston Bruins, who finished literally like they were the best team in the NHL, and what did they get? What did they get for doing that? Well, now they got to play a round robin against tough teams like the Flyers, like Washington Capitals, like Tampa Bay, and then they get beat up physically before they got to play a hot team, maybe like the New York Rangers, who end up knocking off the Canes, and because they're seated so low, they'll have to play a Boston. Like that to me just doesn't make sense. Boston needs to get rewarded for this. It's almost like the NFL, right? New England Patriots, year after year after year, they don't got to play the wild card team or the wild card game because they were the best, and they deserve that. And I feel like the same needs to be said here for NHL. I feel like those top 4 teams in each conference really got screwed, for a lack of a better term. I really do. Hockey's very physical, so injuries will happen. Let's see. I'm 13 and want to start my own YouTube channel. How do you start? Well, Jameis Winston. Am I reading that right? Or Jamesis Winston. I see what you did there. Yeah, definitely. You can start. You really don't need much. If you have an iPhone, you can record videos and upload them straight to there. And then slowly but surely, you can build your confidence, you can build your community, and then you can also build your sets. So maybe one day you have something like
Build
this.
a team.
Yeah, that's exactly it too, right? Build a team. So I'm going to want to shout out guys like Mike DiStefano. Shout out to him. Shout out to guys like Les Alex. Les Alex doesn't only do collabs with me, but he also does collabs with great guys like Boris. He does collabs with, and Matt from PSA Collector. Actually, not too long ago, we actually even had Sports Card Investor on this. So definitely collab. Keep filming. Like, at the end of the day, you're in control of your comment section. Obviously, here at Red Cape Sports, we tend to let more slide. You know, someone called me a fat Luca, but at the end of the day, that was kind of funny. And someone called Mitch Zach Galifianakis. So the comment section, you just got to have really tough, thick skin, and you got to know that you're in charge, right? At the end of the day, who does everyone boo? Well, you're going to boo the guys who are good, right? You're not going to boo. That's just the thing, right? Like, you're not going to boo the guy on the bench because no one cares. You're going to boo LeBron. You're going to boo Brad Marchand, maybe for other reasons, but you're going to boo Tom Brady. You know, you're going to boo the guys who are great. So, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen to you as well, James. But what I'm saying is keep your head up, keep filming, and create content.
We were making content like 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Fun story enough. I even saw today something popped up on my Facebook. I shared. So Mitch and we used to film a terrible, terrible, terrible comic book show that I'm not going to share with you all. But it was named Comic Empire. And I don't know what I was doing with my facial hair. I don't know what I was doing in front of the camera. I probably still don't know what I'm doing. But it's just to say 10 years ago, we were creating content. And it's that love, it's that passion, it's that drive that has continued us to go. And, you know, obviously we still got a long ways to go to catch up to other people or to even necessarily be where we want to be. You know, and at the end of the day, yes, you can make money off this. Maybe not the greatest money, at least where we are, but, you know, you can make money. Like, you can go out to stores and buy things like this, or you could buy blaster boxes, or it's just a grind. And I want to encourage anyone to do it, right? The bigger that we build this community, the more it helps everyone. And I really do believe that. So
Can you straighten that?
how's that? All right. Mitch wants that straightened
Ask
out.
them how the live stream sounds.
Yeah, guys, how does the live stream sound? If there's any issues, we can definitely blame Mitch. He's got the headphones on. I'm booing the Bruins. All right, guys. So what else do we have here too? All right. The Blue Jackets against the Maple Leafs. Trap game. I'm not sure how many of you guys bet on things like this, but if you're a bettor, do not bet with your heart. You will get burned. I am telling you, you will get burned. On paper, the Toronto Maple Leafs should win this easily. Very, very, very easily. But let's not forget, Columbus Blue Jackets literally knocked off the NHL favorites last year in Tampa Bay Lightning. Not only did they knock them off, they swept them. Man, like, Columbus Blue Jackets defense and goalie in Elvis, I'm telling you, if there's a trap game in this NHL playoffs, it's in Toronto. Let's see this. Mitch is giving me something here. Yeah. So he's got Austin Matthews and Kyle Connor cards. Cool. But no, to get back to this, before Mitch rudely interrupted me, kidding. Toronto Maple Leafs, like, actually, I want to see what that season head-to-head is. So head-to-head, Maple Leafs versus Blue Jackets. And I'm very curious because I'm telling you all, I really don't. It's going to be interesting, that series for sure. So Leafs versus Columbus. Yeah, so there's 2 games, and they split. The Leafs won 1 game and then lost 1 in overtime. So exactly to my previous point, Toronto Maple Leafs are, like I said, they're the better team on paper, but I think in a 5-game series, after not playing for so long, Columbus does actually stand a legitimate chance. I really do believe that. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I think this series goes to 5. No matter who wins, I really do. And then I believe the last one, at least for qualifying, we got the Minnesota Wild against Vancouver Canucks. That one can go either way as well. I really don't know who I would choose to win that. I would probably go with the more talented team, again, in a 5-game series. More often than not, talent can win you games. So in that case, I would go with Canada's team, Vancouver Canucks. You got Pettersson, Bo Horvat, Brock Besser. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I would go. Obviously, Kevin Fiala is going to do wonders too, but Vancouver should win that, right? Specifically look for Elias Pettersson, who, there's another guy who I believe his young gun cards is still pretty undervalued. Leafs in 6. Not sure how you're getting Leafs in 6. It is a best of 5, so just keep that in mind. It's not a 7-game series. These qualifying rounds, as they're called, these are best of 5s. But could the Leafs win in 5? Absolutely. I don't know, man. I just got this feeling Columbus is going to get it done. Yeah, no worries. Minnesota is such a boring team. Man, I almost want to laugh to that because it's accurate. Minnesota plays boring hockey. They really do. They play a boring style of hockey, but it's a rather effective style. So, live stream is going great. Cool. All right, guys. Any questions about players or predictions or really anything else? And it doesn't necessarily even have to be hockey. I definitely also want to mention there will be a video. So after this live stream, we're going to film a video. And I wanted to mention that because this is going to be completely free. I don't know what the prizes are going to be. It's definitely not going to be this Austin Matthews.
No, that's funny.
No. The prize is to be determined, but it is going to be free to join. And actually, I should mention that you do have to beat me or Mitch. You have to beat one of us. Well, if Mitch doesn't win or if I don't win, then someone will win the prize. And I'll say that.
Oh,
Nah, and I'll win. But needless to say, this is going to be what's called a box pool, is what we'll call it. So essentially speaking, I actually have it up here. Let me just get this. Maybe I should just type with 2 hands, but anyway, it doesn't want to come up. So it is what it is. But it's going to be a box pool. So you're going to have players, let's say, like Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Artemi Panarin, and let's say Nathan McKinnon. So they're all going to be in one pool, okay? Or one box, rather. But the reality is you can only pick one player per box. So you can't have both McKinnon and McDavid, right? You can't have them. You literally got to choose one or the other, and that's what kind of makes it fun. And then in real life playoffs, whoever gets the most points, right? So if McDavid goes out and has a hat trick and an assist, that's 4 points. So 4 points are added to your title. At the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs, whoever has the most points wins. And then you can also draft defensemen, and you another box or another couple boxes, I should say, are going to be goaltenders. So the video that we will post later on, it's going to have many more details, but I did just want to mention that here while we do have a few people on our live stream. It's going to be pretty fun, right? At the end of the day, it just adds a bit more excitement, not just to the game, but when a specific player that you chose out of the box scores or gets an assist or even gets a win or a shutout, just adds a bit more excitement. So, all right. Do you guys know who Tyler Mott is? Yeah, Tyler Mott's a pretty good player. Do I think he's investable? At his current card prices, very well could be. But I don't know. It's very tough to invest in players like that. I would honestly probably stay away just for right now. But yeah. What else do we got here, guys? We have. Oh yeah, so Dallas Stars and Vegas Golden Knights. So those are other 2 teams. Dallas Stars are streaky good, right? I mean, we all mentioned early on in the stream that Minnesota Wild are a very boring hockey team to watch play. Wait until you watch Dallas. Dallas is very, very boring. They like to control the puck, like to get pucks deep, as so many hockey players like to call it. But they're a solid team. I don't think they'll win the Stanley Cup. I actually do believe that Tampa, this should be their year. And if it's not, COVID definitely played a bigger factor into that than I think we all think. But we'll see. At the end of the day, I just can't wait for playoffs. I can't wait to just look so many people dead in the eyes and say, hey, as a Rangers fan, I told you so. Because, man, Rangers are going to make big moves. Just you guys wait. Our card price is high right now. No, honestly, I feel like now is still a really good time to invest in a lot of different guys. I feel like the card market itself still has so much room for growth and for potential um, that I feel like so many different people are definitely still a good buy. Obviously, you still want to check out eBay sold listings. If a card just sold for 30, don't go out and buy it for like $80. It's just why would you do that? Um, yeah, it's basically what it is. Let's see. I think I missed some comments early up. I'll start. I focus on 70s, 80s, 90s rookie cards, mostly all in PSA. That's cool. That's very cool, actually. Um, I've had so many problems with PayPal that I might have to give up selling sports cards. Well, Toby, the reality with that is you don't necessarily just have to sell your cards through eBay. You can go on Facebook card markets, buy, sell, trade groups. You can sell in person. So there's so many different ways of selling. Or you can even go to your local comic shop, or pardon me, your local card shop, and sell that way as well. There's just so many people within a community. So PayPal necessarily, you don't even have to limit yourself to that, right? It's almost the same as I say of like when you are on eBay and when you limit yourself by, you know, if you're an American, if you don't offer to ship to Canada, specifically in a card market where, if you're trying to sell hockey cards, you definitely want to ship to Canada. We'll buy all that stuff, right? And it's the same like if you live in Canada and you're trying to sell NBA cards, you definitely want to ship over to the States because they'll buy all that stuff. Same thing with, football or really almost any sport. Like you just don't want to limit yourself. And I think the same can be said in terms of selling cards when PayPal isn't working. Let's see. Yes. So Mitch is currently typing that. He said to check out Frank's shop over at FNC House of Cards. Thoughts on Giannis? Okay, so quickly but surely switching sports. Giannis, the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or however you want to pronounce his name. He's when LeBron leaves, Giannis is the face of the NBA. This is the guy who can shoot the crap out of the ball, dunk the ball, get assist, rebound. He's really like I don't say this often, but he's built for basketball. Like he's truly got the height, but he's not too big and stocky that he can't shoot the ball like a Dwight Howard type of player. And honestly, if he wanted to, he could probably play all five, maybe not point guard. Yeah, I would probably lean that towards point guard. His card prices are like ridiculous, though, ridiculous through the roof. But if he could lead the Bucks to a championship, look at Kawhi numbers, right? Like honestly, look at what Kawhi did with the Raptors and what his card prices have done. Giannis definitely still an investment opportunity in there. Maybe not necessarily in the Prism. Maybe look towards like Select or even Optic. But yeah, Giannis is definitely still a good buy. And if you guys are really low risk, high reward, look for his brother Costa. I mean, look for it, definitely. Marketplace is a great resource. I think Davis is overrated. As in Anthony Davis? You think Anthony Davis is overrated? I definitely am interested on that one. Because both Rich and I definitely disagree on that. Anthony Davis is a legitimate like top five player in the league, for sure, for sure. And I don't think LeBron now, as a veteran at 35 years old, would purposely choose a team knowing that AD would be there if he wasn't a fan, if that makes sense. Like Anthony Davis could very well. I'm not going to say he's going to lift LeBron's title, but he's not overrated. If anything, Anthony Davis is underrated in the shadow of LeBron, at least in my opinion. Yeah, so he was meeting him. The JT Miller card's good to get. Canucks fan, 100% yes. JT Miller's cards definitely undervalued now. Specifically, pardon me, his raw cards, JT Miller. I'm a big fan of him. Obviously, he did come out of New York Rangers organization there. And even Team USA, he was a stud, and he continues to be a great young player. If the Canucks can make a deep run, JT Miller's cards, I think that they're low enough to at least double even. Depending on how he and the Canucks do in the playoffs, if they just get swept, I mean, you're not going to see any price difference, and that can almost be said with any player unless they just put up crazy numbers and start losing. But a guy like JT Miller, yeah, definitely invest in him if you're interested. The Raptors won against the Lakers. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Raptors did win against Lakers, but at the same time, too, my Dallas Mavericks put up some pretty great fights against the LA Lakers. But do I think that my Mavericks are better than the Lakers? No, I don't. The Lakers are on a mission. I'm telling you, they're on a mission. They're going to be my pick to win the NBA title. At the end of the day, LeBron James, I mean, until he can prove me otherwise, like, bet on him, man. Bet on him. There's something to be said about making finals, like, what was it, 8-9 years in a row? Absolutely ridiculous. And when he made it the last time with the Cavs, he had no business. Like, they had no business. I still remember Stephen A. Smith saying, this team is utter trash. And they were down in the series, and then, of course, LeBron put the team on his back and ended up making his way all the way to the final with not much. I mean, maybe J.R. Smith was like the best guy on that team, or Kyle Korver better than LeBron, but that's just the thing, right? NBA, you can go beast mode, and the Lakers are certainly that they're not going to go out easily. There's no way. Luka is better than Zion. That one I will agree with you on. Luka is better than Zion, but again, like you said, they're different players, right? How are we going to compare apples to oranges? It's really difficult to do. Overall, I feel like Luka could play the 4, could play the 3 as well. Yeah. My battery is going to die, so we'll say 10 more minutes of this, guys. Zion is going to live up to the hype. He will get injured. We're not going to live up to the hype. When is Football Prism coming out? That's going to be typically towards like the start of the season is when you're going to see that. So you're looking at September or October. I can't remember if it's before the actual season kicks off or if it's a bit later on, almost like what the NHL does with their release of Upper Deck. The reality is a lot of rookies haven't played yet, right? So Joe Burrow hasn't played yet, so they're kind of waiting for him to actually play games. That way they can take the photos of him in a Cincinnati Bengals uniform. Now, obviously, you can do Photoshop and you can do retouches, or he's already been in a Bengals uniform, and you can do almost like the NBA hoops, what they did, even with Zion and Tyler Hero and all those rookies. But primarily speaking, you're going to wait for the players to actually play. That way it's more of a legitimate rookie card. So definitely we'll have to wait for that one. Am I wearing a Chris Kreider jersey or Stepan? No. No, I'm not. And I do miss Derek Stepan, and I can understand via number 21 how you realize that. But here's the reality, okay? Here is legitimately speaking why Artemi Panarin deserves to win the MVP award, okay? The Rangers were so bad last season, so bad. Obviously, they had Mika, okay? But when I play pond hockey, I find it weird to wear a guy's jersey who doesn't shoot the same handedness as me. And when I play hockey, I'm left-handed. Well, Mika Zibanejad is right-handed. Same thing with Alex Ovechkin. And I looked at the Rangers roster, and there was really no one left-handed other than like Pavel Buchnevich. But he really didn't excite me too much last year as a player. But this kid excited me. Okay, no one knows who this is, but it's Brett Howden. So I'm wearing a Brett Howden jersey. Brett Howden put up great numbers at the World Junior Classic, and I'm still a fan of Brett Howden. I'm more so now a fan of Artemi Panarin, certainly. But again, Panarin won't really work out with the handedness. So we'll go that way. Do you have any no lumbered Lance Stephenson's card? Man, Shamrock, you are a big fan of Lance Stephenson, eh? Can't go wrong with that, though. I mean, anyone who's willing to blow in LeBron James's ear should they'll get spoken about. Do I think in future years running back and wide receiver will be more investable? Pardon me. Running back, definitely so. There's a few guys who've I already mentioned, even on this channel, that I believe will be investable. Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins for sure. And I mean, look at Christian McCaffrey. Like Christian McCaffrey, there was a stat that I saw, and over the last 3 years, he has the second most receptions in the NFL, only behind Michael Thomas, which is crazy to think of because he's such a dominant running back, but he's also like receiving, I think it was like 314 passes or 314 receptions, should I say. So if Carolina can start to do more, Christian McCaffrey, and even guys like Zeke Elliott, I mean, he's still, I'm not going to say he's super undervalued because he's not super undervalued, but investment opportunities, yeah, I would definitely say that it's there. Especially if they have longevity careers such as Frank Gore. Wait, Panarin is 21. No, Panarin is not number 21, number 10. Keep that in mind for the bread man. Honestly, any LeBron James rookie cards do pretty well. I pulled a Guy Lafleur auto out of a $1.50 out of a 150 pack. Good job. Guy Lafleur was the man. And there's another guy who I believe was number 10. Okay. I'm looking for Hero. Yeah, Tyler Hero is definitely a good pick. I feel like a lot of people want to buy into the rookie hype right away. And that's why we saw Baker Mayfield numbers shoot up way too early. Sorry, Les Alex. You're my man. You're my bro. But Baker Mayfield, hot trash. Hot trash. Uncle Rico, hot trash. And I'll leave it at that. Hot trash. Do you think the Clippers can upset the Lakers this year if they both reach the Western Conference Final? I will say this. My entire life, I always thought basketball was a sport that was more one-man led, right? Because I did grow up watching LeBron just dominate. And honestly, I felt like he didn't have too much help. Even Kobe, at least in my opinion, yeah, he had Paul Gasol. And obviously, I'm not going to say that he didn't have help. He had Shaq, even in Shaq's prime there too. But what I'm saying, like Dwayne Wade, when he made it to the finals and won in 2006, I feel like he didn't have too much help. Shaq was towards like the end of his career, and basketball just in general. Again, right? LeBron James can make the finals 9 years in a row. He is literally leading others to the playoffs, and that's why I thought Golden State. No way in hell could they lose to the Toronto Raptors. And then obviously injuries happen. I will say that. I think it would have been a completely different series with a healthy Clay and with a healthy KD. I really do. Not taking anything away from the Raptors. They certainly deserve that. So did Kawhi. So did everyone in Canada, it seemed like, because they were just behind him. But I will say this. I think benches really do matter. And I think that the Lakers have a solid bench. We'll see what happens to Rajon Rondo, or Rajon Rondo, pardon me, the guy who looks like Franklin the Turtle. But no, I still, until LeBron proves me otherwise, I'm taking LeBron to win it all. Like, I just am. He's a solid choice, really is. Hoops cards. Yeah, that was pretty good buy. 36 cards of Gabe Levert. Hoops cards for $23. Goodbye. The Rockets should do well, but I mean, we'll see. Russell Westbrook does need to recover from COVID-19. That's going to be a major part of it. Um, I certainly believe that he will. But yeah, definitely the Rockets can go far in this year's playoffs. And the Mavs, for sure. Um, Golden State Warrior has a terrible bench. Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of the point I was making, right? Like I always thought that it didn't really matter if your bench wasn't that strong, right? Because like you get off to such a big lead. But last year the Raptors proved that a bench was needed, right? So um, I don't know. Like I feel like the stronger bench is going to be with the Lakers compared to the Clippers. But we'll see. It's really hard to kind of discuss that when it's not a reality, right? Like a lot can happen. Lakers could lose, Clippers could get knocked off as well. So we'll see what happens. Um, Digging the Rangers gear, yes, sir. Gotta dig the Rangers. Um, Broadway's team, right? New York Rangers, gotta love them. Um, Joakim Noah, he will be big. Joakim Noah. Now, Joakim Noah, like at least in college when he was with Florida, he was a beast. And then he kind of like if I say Dwight Howard, he Dwight Howard it out. He fizzled right out of the league, out of people's minds. Andre Karolinko, there's a throwback for you. AK-47, Carlos Boozer, like those type of guys. Studs for a few years and just slowly dwindling out of the league. And that's how I feel of Joakim Noah. J.R. Smith is a decent sign. No, J.R. Smith is a great sign. Okay. And it would be great if he actually knew what to do in the final dying seconds of a game, as LeBron once did. But J.R. Smith is a baller. Straight up, he's a baller. And again, I feel like LeBron is that type of guy who goes up to a GM, goes up to a coach, and says, listen, I want this guy to play for my team. And based off all the interviews and in the way that he holds himself, that's a reality. So I feel like LeBron wanted him and specifically saw something in him and went for him. So yeah, definitely J.R. Smith, great pickup. Let's see. If you have to go with a sleeper for baseball card, who would it be? I think we were discussing this the other day. Eh? Mitch is here too, guys. Sleeper for baseball card.
Robert?
His cards are expensive, so I'm not going to go with him. Austin Meadows or Ahmed Rosario. Ahmed Rosario had, I think it was the second most hits. Acuna is a good one too, but sleeper, right? He was asking for sleeper. So a guy that many people haven't heard of, Austin Meadow for sure will be my number one, and then number two, Ahmed Rosario. Celtics have a good bench. Yeah, for sure. Celtics have a good bench. I like Tatum might be a bit overpriced in the hobby. Yeah, honestly, a lot of people keep saying that Tatum is like, pardon me, people keep saying Tatum's like the number one greatest investment right now. I don't necessarily buy that. I feel like he's pretty expensive. What's he averaging? Maybe Mitch can look that up. Just because my laptop's about to die. Jason Tatum. I think he's averaging about 20, 22. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure I'll be shocked at what he actually is averaging. But at the end of the day,
23.6.
Okay, so he's averaging 23.6 points per game. And what is he, like 21, 22?
22.
Yeah, and he's 22 years old. But his card prices are pretty high right now. Yes, and he did go to Duke, and I'm well aware of all that. But I don't know. Jason Tatum's that's a tough buy, at least right now, in my opinion. How do I get to know hockey better? Watch this channel, or you can listen to our monthly podcast on Locked On NHL over on Twitter.
Facebook group.
Yeah, Facebook groups. Mike DiStefano and I, we literally do a investing in hockey, specifically hockey, investing in hockey cards for sports card investors and collectors and flippers. It's a monthly podcast. Mike DiStefano and I, Al's brother from TSN Overdrive, we run that together. Definitely check it out. It's free. So, and watch YouTube content, right? I mean, like I'm not the only YouTuber talking about sports cards. Watch Les Alex. Watch Sports Card Investor. Watch Boris with the Hobby Box, and watch PSA Collector. Like sorry if I missed anyone. Loyal and Eugen, she's awesome too. And I believe that you said that you're 13. Loyal is what, like 18 years old too. So I mean, she might be a good person to reach out to as well. Again, man, like just start. Like you got to start somewhere. And looking back on it, I can almost guarantee you're gonna look at your videos and say, man, I don't care how good they are. You'll say, wow, this sucks, because you just get better and better and better, right? I'm not saying your videos are gonna suck in any way means. I'm just saying, like, when you compare them, like I know Mitch and I, like we put out some great content. That comic book show that I was alluding to earlier, it was really well done. It's just I feel like we've come so long, and you just got to make the stuff. And again, you got to do it with the understanding that Rome wasn't built in a day. It's going to take a long time. Obviously, we were so thankful to get monetized in what, Mitch, 2.5, 3 months, which was crazy. But I mean, like I said, we still got a long way to go, and yeah, we're gonna get there. Yeah, we're gonna get a plaque.
Then I'm gonna quit.
A silver play button. Oh, you know what? If we get a plaque, Mitch is gonna take a slap shot at it. See if it breaks.
No, we're not gonna break that.
It'll be a replica.
Okay.
All right, what else we got here? Do you have Mitch collect and GC Honey Yards? A bit random. No, I have no idea what that is. If Zion and the Pels take the Grizzlies spot in the 8th seed, Zion will shoot up. Oh, for sure, right? I mean, even if they just get into the playoffs, his cards will shoot up, Lonzo will shoot up, and Brandon Ingram will shoot up, and LeVar Ball might shoot up himself. Kidding. That was a terrible joke.
We're live, Bird.
I know, that was a terrible joke. Hopefully too many people didn't catch on to that. Japanese model Shamrock, man. Come on, buddy. No.
Shamrock, which internet are you using?
Let's see what else we got here. Hobby shops. Le GM, exactly.
We get that Mila Khalifa sports lady on here.
I have no idea who you're talking about, actually. No idea. Thank God my wife doesn't watch this stuff, honestly. Oh, shit. All right, guys, we're gonna have to start focusing on sports here. All right, because I do know that we do have a 13-year-old on this channel. So, sorry, guys.
So Bird's running for prime minister?
Yeah. No, I'm not. Other good buys. What specific sport are we looking for good buys? And my laptop's gonna run out of battery here soon, so maybe Mitch will read out some questions, but we'll see. Once my laptop dies, I'll just close it.
Do you need a phone?
Yeah, actually, we'll go with that. Actually, I got my phone here, so we'll see who else wants to chat. Cool. Charge it. I don't have my charger on me.
Since I'm not allowed on the show.
Are you good at Madden? Guys, I have told you all, okay? I am broke and I currently don't have PlayStation Network, but am I good at Madden? Guys, like I'm offended when you ask me if I'm good at Madden. I'm not good at Madden. Like I'm good. You want to know why? Okay. Not to change the subject too much, but here's why I'm good at Madden. Because everyone tries to throw the ball. No, you need to run the ball. Run the ball first down, run the ball on second down. And then you don't want to throw the ball down the field. Okay. Short passes, comeback routes, slants, things like that. That's how you win in Madden, right? Because the linebackers jump like 77,000 feet, and it's ridiculous. People can ball hawk like crazy. Interceptions can happen. So you just got to take care of the ball, and you got to learn how to clock management. But yes, I'm good. I'm good at Madden, but I'm even better at NHL. Maybe that's because I'm Canadian, but I'm really good. Fun story, actually. Okay, my wife, she grew up with this guy. I'm not going to name his name because he's a good guy. And he comes over 2 weeks ago. Okay, and he goes, I think he was a bit drunk too, but we'll see. And he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, like, do you want to play NHL?" And I'm like, "Man, like, not really. Like, I'm working." Long story short, I beat this guy like 12-1, like just crushed him. And I even had to go down, right? Like, when you have to go down for 2 periods. So I went down and I crushed him. And he later on showed me his record online and I crushed him. Like, it's just the reality. I'm not good. I'm not good, right? I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. Shout out to Ricky Bobby. Um, yeah, I'm just not good. What else we got here? Do you and Mitch trade cards often? Honestly, no, we don't. Mitch and I don't trade cards often because Mitch has a lot higher end cards than I do. So if Mitch wants to give me his Zion for like, I'll give you what's his name, Jason Blake for Zion. Yeah, Jason Blake for Zion.
No.
Dang it! All
I'd
right,
rather have Johnny
I tried.
Manziel.
Who is the star on Tampa Bay hockey? Honestly, they got a few stars. You got Stamkos, you got Kucherov, but who I believe is the number uno, the greatest investment opportunity right now on Tampa Bay Lightning is Braden Point. 100%. Braden Point, that's a guy who's under the radar currently, but on a great team who continues to find in the back of the net and rack up points. Braden Point, you can pick up I think his PSA 10s are hovering around like $120, something like that. But Braden Point. One or separate. So I need a bit of clarification on this one. Are your collections both in one or separate? Oh, no. 100% Mitch's collection is his because his money is his. My collection is mine because my money is mine. So that's just how simple it is. I would, however, like to point out that Mitch's bankroll is a lot is a lot heavier than mine is, right?
Company.
Yeah, right.
Company wise, I differ a lot.
Yeah, for sure, right? I mean, Mitch works very hard for his money, and he's definitely got a lot
I
of.
own 18 businesses.
Yeah, basically. No, Mitch has a lot of what we call disposable income, so he can kind of just toss that into sports cards, whereas handcuffs. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're not handcuffs. Oh, Mitch is. That was a good throw. Mitch, I'm not going to show him your Visa numbers. No, I'm kidding. Mitch just threw me a credit card. So here,
Zion.
here. You guys have 3 seconds to screenshot and buy anything you want.
No.
All right, just kidding. Buy what you can afford. Absolutely, that's honestly the best way of investing. Buy what you can afford with the intention that you're going to lose money. And a good example of that is Topps Project 2020. I'm still high on it, honestly. The cards are beautiful, but I also know what's happening with the major print runs. Keith Shore had it was 99,000 Ken Griffey Jr. cards, and that really just ruined the market. Cards that were $200 are now worth like $30, and print runs are definitely important. I will say that, but I'm still a fan of it. And at the end of the day, I know that even if all these cards go to like $0, are these cards that I want displayed? Are these cards that I'm happy? Are these artists people that I'm happy to support? And the answer to all those were yes. So that's why I personally went out and purchased those cards, right? So just that simple. What else we got here? Who is good for the pick in the NHL playoffs on a budget? Budget picks, Sebastian Aho, definitely. And again, I'm just going to name out Kevin Fiala is a good one. So Braden Point, honestly, I feel like he's pretty undervalued. Philip Hedl, New York Rangers centerman. If you want to pick him up, he's pretty cheap as well. Who other for budgets? Mikko Rantanen, I know he's a bit more expensive at like, I think he's like $20 to $25 Canadian raw ungraded. It really depends what your budget is, man, honestly. Thoughts on Siko Dumboya? I didn't see anything that impressed me, honestly. But Frank is definitely a major fan of Siku. And maybe Mitch, did Frank meet Siku? Was that who he met? The tall basketball player? I think he met him. I, either way, I'm not a fan. I wouldn't invest in him with a 35-foot pole.
I like Secret.
But Mitch likes him and Frank likes him. So I just personally I haven't seen enough, right? Like a lot of people like to say, even like Les Alex likes to say, in PSA Collector, watch highlights, right? And if the guy excites you, and if his numbers are good, and if he's young, and if he hits all the criteria, if he's cheap, even if he's not cheap, invest in him. But
Kobe White's cheap. That's who I just got the other day.
yeah, guys, Mitch really likes Kobe White. I don't. I actually loved Kobe White when he played for UNC, but to me, he hasn't done enough yet, and maybe that's because he's in a bad market in Chicago. But Kobe White, if you like him, Mitch and Frank definitely like Kobe White. I picked up so many Young Guns hockey cards. Thanks, you guys. Keep up the good work. You guys definitely helped me out with my hockey. Brian, man, I appreciate that. You know, I want you to like go home and take care of yourself. You know, like go in the hot tub if you have a hot tub, or like I don't know, just relax. Like, good for you, Brian. Adam Fox, yes, Adam Fox. Probably one of the most underrated defensemen. Not sure if you guys remember. I believe it was back in December. Mitch and I released a video. It was our $100 budget, and you at the time you guys could pick up Adam Fox rookie cards for $4. Mitch is gonna look up what those cards are worth now. Adam Fox, Young Gun cards, because at the time you could purchase them for $4. So Mitch is gonna look that up behind the scenes here. Should have at least doubled, but we'll see. Michael Porter Jr. is going to skyrocket. Definitely agree with that one, for sure. He's a good pick. Got Kale McCarr, Sveshnikov, Fox, McDavid. $12.
Raw.
Okay, so yeah, that's not bad.
13 raw. Those were sold.
Okay, so there you go, right? But that's the thing. What is that? 3 times? So you just 3x'd your investment. That simple. And honestly, if the Rangers go on and make a good playoff push, and if he continues to be an offensive defenseman as a rookie, boy, watch out. That $4 card certainly could see $20, $25, depending on how far the Rangers go.
Let's talk about Matisse Thybulle.
Just sent a bunch of Kale to get graded and a Sveshnikov. Oh, nice. And Artemi Panarin. Yeah, Panarin's definitely skyrocketed. There was a time at the start of the season I was just a fan of Panarin, and I was picking up his raw ungraded Young Guns for like 17, 18. I think the most I ever paid was like $22, including shipping, right? These prices, and Artemi Panarin's cards are certainly doing a lot better after this playoff runs. We'll see if I do want to, if I do sell, I'm going to reinvest into another player or maybe him, but maybe a PSA 10 this time. But yeah, guys, I picked up I think it was $24 for the one specific PSA 9. I think there's a ghost in here. Seahawks fan. Any thoughts on him? Thybulle. Mitch likes him as well. Not a big fan, honestly. Jason Dominguez and Bobby Witt. Those are obviously 2 of the hotter prospects. Not the prospects I'm going after. If you guys want a baseball prospect to go after, he's maybe on the higher side already, but Dylan Carlson, honestly, St. Louis Cardinals, switch hitter, 21-year-old kid, severe potential for 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. It's just a reality. Obviously not this season. Like 30 home runs it's not going to happen. I think 22 to 24 is going to be the max, but we'll see. Is Capo a bust or another year to see? Okay, here's the thing about Kako. Like, this is his rookie season, but he's been buried on the 4th, 3rd line. So how are we about to call Kako a bust? Like, you know what I mean? That's like calling Jack Hughes a bust too. But the reality is Jack Hughes has like the exact same number of points, but he's played a lot more. Kako, definitely give him another year. He hasn't had the chance to like shine yet. David Quinn is very, very strict on playing time and minutes, and even Brett Howden doesn't get to play often, but Capo Caco, certainly when he has played like on the power play, even he's been a stud, and he's telling you guys he's going to be so much better than Hughes, and that's not even a homer pick. Like I was so happy that the Rangers got Caco, but we'll see. Let's see. Worth another year or two. What's your thought on buying PSA 9 cards? If the price is right, go for it. But at the end of the day, everyone doesn't want a 10, right? But with that being said, like, let's say Giannis, right? I feel like Giannis's cards have just skyrocketed so much that people are now looking for secondary options. So PSA 10 being the secondary option, obviously it's significantly less, let's say, but PSA 9s are still good buy. Anything lower than that, no. Investment, Allen or Murray? For what sport? Are you meaning like Kyler Murray or Allen, the quarterbacks, like the quarterbacks? Because I feel like Kyler Murray's got more upside for sure. PSA or BGS? Hockey. As a whole, I'm a PSA guy. I just am. There's something about a 10, right? If you can get a BGS 10, awesome. But there's something about this 0.5 that really irks me. This isn't perfect. This isn't perfection.
That's Matthew's baby.
Yeah, but it's not a 10. You know what I mean? So to me personally, I would rather have a PSA 10 than a BGS 9.5.
Well, yeah. But I'd rather have a BGS 9.5 than a PSA 9.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But
you get the subcategories. It depends.
Right. Here's the thing. The old school people, right? Like it really depends what card you're grading. Like if I were grading a Kobe Bryant, I wouldn't send him in to BGS because the old school grades, right? Yeah, like this Vince Carter, right? Vince Carter's been around so long. And honestly, they're just sharp. They're really skinny too.
Oh, there's an episode coming about him soon.
Yes, guys, there is an episode coming about the legend, Vince Carter. So we haven't told anyone about this either. Yes, undervalued right here. This specific card. What is this? Topps Chrome? I haven't even looked yet. Yep, Topps Chrome. Vince Carter. Buy it. Very undervalued. But again, to get back to my point, sure, this is a 9, right? But older market, they know PSA. PSA is all they really know. This BGS is so new to them that for basketball and for hockey, this is the way to go. But honestly, here's the thing too, right? Like we even have this Kyle Connor card. This is a hockey card. Most people would say go BGS, but this PSA card looks great. It looks great in here, honestly. Not just because it's a foil card, not just because it's Kyle Connor. It looks great. So to me, I lean towards PSA personally. But Mitch is a big fan of BGS because he gets those subgrades, right? If you have like high anxiety and you really, really want to know where you went wrong, go that route. But also, it's been shown time again. The market trumps all, right? And what the market always tells us, part of me, PSA cards sell for more. It's just a reality. They sell for more. Let's see. Joe Thornton had 7 points as a rookie. I did not know that, but Joe Thornton is still a beast, still searching for a Stanley Cup. Obviously, he's not going to get it this year. But Joe Thornton, is there an investment opportunity in him? Maybe so.
Great beard.
By Kevin Garnett. Yes, Kevin Garnett. Mitch is saying no. Why is Mitch saying no?
Because he's an actor now.
So is Shaq. Come on.
Shaq's not an actor. Shaq's a goofball.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett is definitely undervalued.
He's buying uncut gems.
Okay, here's a good question. Do I think Vlad Guerrero Jr. moving to first base /DH is going to hurt his value long term? The complete opposite of that. You know what that means? It means longevity. Third base, like, I'm not sure if you guys ever grew up playing baseball, but it's a tough position. Like, honestly, think of a guy like Albert Pujols, right? A very long career. First base is a relatively, and I'm not knocking on first baseman, but it's a relatively easy position to play, right? I mean, the odd occasion you're going to have a guy just absolutely rip and turn on a ball and drive it your way, but for the most part, you don't even get in front of those, and then they're base hits. Like if they're hit that hard, for the most part, you're a first baseman and you're just standing there. You step on the bag, like again, I'm not trying to knock on these guys, but it's a way less physically demanding position, right? It's why Miguel Cabrera went from third base to first base. It's why so many power guys over their career go to first base. It's just a reality. Matt Carpenter ended up going to first base because he had back issues. Like Prince Fielder, I mean, obviously he's different, but no, certainly I think it's going to help his long term value. When you can really just focus on hitting the ball. I don't know. I mean, I know Albert Pujols wasn't a fan of DHing, even though he's done really well as a DH, and so is a guy like Big Poppy, David Ortiz. But value-wise, it's going to help him. And the flip side of that, a lot of people tend to say, oh, well, and these are actual players. Like I know David Ortiz originally, when he did go to DH, he said, oh, my mind's not in the game if I'm not in the game. But the reality, he was, right? Like that's just his job. His job was to hit dingers, and he did. Same thing with Manny Ramirez. Don't know why they would ever consider putting him out in left field. He was a defensive liability, but he could hit the ball. So, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think anyone's going to invest into anyone because of their defensive ability. Otherwise, Ozzie Smith's cards would be through the roof. So, yeah. Buying a lot. All right, guys. Only like a couple more questions here. Let's see. Is Tyler Hero actually going to skyrocket like everyone is saying? I wouldn't say skyrocket, but if the Miami Heat win 2 playoff matches, it'll double in price. Fair enough. Yeah, man, we get a lot of hate, but you kind of just laugh at it. Like there's so many internet trolls. Who cares?
Mostly not though.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are pretty nice.
Yeah, mostly
Like, the
not.
people that hate, they have no subscribers and they're idiots.
Yeah, it's kind of true, right? Like, just to answer that question, Winston, that's exactly it. The people who are going to leave you hate messages and who are going to try to knock you down, they're people who hide behind screens and who don't want to show their face. It's just the reality of things, and I don't think it matters which country you're from, which province, territory, ethnicity, background. People are going to hate. But I would honestly say for every bad comment you get, you're going to get 100 great comments. It's just the reality of things. Most people don't want to hate on you, but the people that do, like, it's hard at first to be like, oh man, like this guy doesn't like my video. But think about it this way, right? Like, no one's going to like everything. I'm sure there's sports teams that you don't like, sports players that you don't like. Not that it doesn't make you a bad person. You just don't like them. And there's food that you don't like, right? There's TV shows that you don't like, actors, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, you just gotta, focus on you. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. I know that this has been a rather long live stream and a rather long random one. But with that being said, we got episodes to film, and Mitch and I are getting hungry. So